right, welcome in. This is Fantasyfling taking a look at Underdog daily draft for week 5. So, want to kind of do a live draft, give you some of the best plays that I think you want to target on Underdog for week 5. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look back at a week that was a couple contests that we're going to be looking to attack and see what's working. So, just want to spend a quick minute on that. All right. So this past week on Underdog, if you played, there was a couple of contests. Now, the Battle Royale is $30K to first. So this is the big one. It's $5 to entry, $67,000. This is your large field GPP over for the Underdog daily drafts. As you can see, the payouts are pretty good, though. You get $30,000 for first place, second 15, all the way up to 10th place, you get $3,000. And really you get $1,000 from, if you place in the top 25, 11 to 25th. So I like the payout structure here. I think it's pretty awesome. And obviously it's going to be a hard contest to win, but nonetheless, and there's no overlay in it, but nonetheless, you can certainly still make some good money in this contest. And, it's not too big to where, you really have no chance of winning it. So, the top 5 contest or top 5 lineups really it's a staple. Justin Fields, Cole Kmet, and DJ Moore. Those were guys that you saw in a lot of the top lineups, as well as Christian McCaffrey. So you went Christian McCaffrey early. For those who did, stud running back early, able to come back and get like AJ Brown and then attack these stacks later. So that's what worked this past week. There might be some games that kind of set up for the same thing. So we'll see on that. This one, kind of the same idea, right? Stud running back early, Christian McCaffrey, 45 points. So that was really what was going to win it for a lot of people if you had him. And then waiting on quarterback. So in this case, it was Anthony Richardson, and he was ran out there naked. So he wasn't sacked with anyone. Henry had a good game. Puka Nacua, AJ Brown, and Fields, McCaffrey, again, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet. So a lot of the same here. Let's take a look at like 10th place. Same thing. So, really was kind of the same stacks, Fields and Cole Kmet. If you got DJ Moore in there or not, that might have been the difference maker. But, Christian McCaffrey was a have to have it. And then obviously what you need is to do better at running back to try to win it. So DeAndre Swift had a good week, not a great week. That's how those things go. That was the Battle Royale. And then the goal line stand is going to be a little smaller of a GPP. So, $10 entry, 6,800 versus 67,000. So it's a tenth the size of the other contest. Obviously, the payout's not going to be the same, but still good payout. So first place, you get $12,000. And, if you finish 10th place, you still get $100, so 10 extra salary there. $50, you 5 extra salary if you place in the top 100. So these contests are obviously very winnable. Won a little bit, won $20, 2x my money. See the lineup I had. So I had Fields, but the issue that I had here was I ran him naked. So it wasn't the rushing Fields that we needed. It was blown coverages. So DJ Moore and Cole Kmet, these guys you need to have stacked. Come to think of it, with this lineup, I'm not even sure that I was really targeting Fields. I think I was targeting someone else, and they got sniped. I think what I was trying to do was I was trying to get Josh Allen, but essentially Josh Allen went right before I could pick him, so I ended up waiting and got Fields. So that's kind of how those things go. Josh Allen would have been a smash play, even better than Fields. But let's go ahead and kind of start looking ahead. So we're going to do a live draft. Let's see. Dog Bowl qualifier. That one's $50. Battle Royale. Let's go for that. This next one starts. Let's see how long we have to wait. Waiting for 3 people. Okay. So I'm going to go through some of the plays that I think we want to kind of target this week. In fact, I'm going to use the domination station over at dfsarmy.com, and this is something that I use each and every week to build my DFS lineups, to build, my kind of draft board for underdog draft picks. And I'm essentially going to look for the highest owned projections, highest owned stacks, and I'm going to try to target that. So looks like we got about 40 seconds, 45 seconds. We can kind of run through this. In fact, I'm going to show you on the chalkboard. These, if you're a DFS Army VIP, these are going to be the best plays of the week. So if you play on DraftKings for DFS, obviously these are your chalk plays, and typically they're chalk because they're going to be the best plays of the week. So if you want to use code Fantasyfling for 10% off the VIP subscription, this is a great tool you have access to, as well as the domination station, which is an optimizer where you can see all the top rankings for each individual player, their rating, their projection, and ownership numbers, so you can kind of see what the field is thinking. You can look for areas to pivot and get that leverage. So we got this starting in 10 seconds, but you can see these are some of the best matchups. Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, that's looking to be a high-scoring game. Jalen Hurts, looking to be pretty high projection, and chalk, of course. All right, so let's get locked in here. All right, so probably not going to be able to get Jalen Hurts on the turnaround, but we'll see. Maybe I can try to do Hurts AJ Brown stack. So we got Bijan Robinson, Jamar Chase. We are 2 picks away. So if I'm unable to get Hurts, where am I going to go? I might lean towards stacking that Minnesota-Kansas City game. So I might go Hawkinson. Yeah, and it looks like that's exactly what happened. You know what? I think we're going to go a little off board here. We're going to go David Montgomery because he has an excellent matchup. And we'll kind of go back to it here. He's actually expected to be one of the chalk players of the week. He has a 17-point projection, and they're going against who are they playing against? They're going against the Carolina team that is really bad against the run. They have a high implied team total of 26 points. So I think David Montgomery's in a smash matchup. I'm probably going to pivot and do a contrarian stack. There's a couple stacks that I've been looking at, so I think that's what it's probably going to be, since I sniped a little bit on Hurts. And that's kind of how these drafts go. So you take the good with the bad. All right, so after I took Montgomery, Devin Achane, Cooper Kupp, Derrick Henry, Devonta Smith, and I'm 2 picks away. Now, I could do Puka, hoping that Cooper Kupp is actually on a snap count, doesn't play a lot. Looks like TJ Hawkinson just went. He almost fell to me anyway. And that would create a little bit of a stack with A.J. Brown. So I could have done that, but he's obviously gone, so that's not going to work. Mark Andrews. Would Lamar still be there for me? I don't know. You know what? I think we're going to take we're going to take Jalen Waddle here, and I'm going to try to get Tua on the turnaround. I'm only 4 picks away. I like Tua this week, and Jalen Waddle potentially. We got a really good matchup where they're expected to dominate. They have a 30-point team total. Jalen Waddle's kind of been the squeaky wheel, hasn't done anything in a little bit. So I could totally see Tua targeting him in this game. A great matchup against the Giants, who've been really bad. And, most of the field's going to be on Tyreek Hill, so I think that could be a good leverage spot. All right, there we go. He fell. Tua to Waddle. So we got our stack. And a guy that I like as a potential bring back could be, well, actually can't do that now because I'm all used up at wide receiver. But a guy that I would have targeted had I not, had a guy maybe stubbed running back early and got Jalen Waddle. He could have brought it back with like a Wan'Dale Robinson. So we need the tight end. That's what we're looking at next. I think Sam Laporta would be a great play here. Dallas Goedert. So what I would like if I get either Laporta or Goddard is both of them stacked with one of my players. So I'd have a team stack. I'd have a David Montgomery and Laporta, or I would have a A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert. So I would like both of those. Laporta just went. So now we would be looking at Goddard. I can also do Waller with it's kind of like a bring back, right? So Tua, Jalen Waddle, and Darren Waller. I think that would be quite a good play too. So 2 picks away. We'll see what I end up left with here. And I'm pretty sure I get a flex as well. So. Crybaby Spanker's going a little slow. My turn. So I like Breece Hall. Couldn't wait on him. That's too good of a matchup going against Denver's horrible run D. Now Denver's getting a couple people back this week. This should help with tackling. One of them, Josie Jewell's, probably their best tackler. Justin Simmons out of the secondary is a really good tackler as well. So maybe they get right a little bit, but I'm still going to ride the potential of Breece Hall not being on a snap count in a smashing matchup. And then really, it's Dallas Goedert and it's Darren Waller. I think I'm probably just going to go with Dallas Goedert here. I don't really want to try to stack Giants. They've just been absolutely terrible. So I think that's going to do it for this draft. It looks like I got Tua, David Montgomery, Breece Hall, A.J. Brown, Jalen Waddle, and Dallas Goedert. So I got a couple stacks in here. I got A.J. Brown and Dallas Goedert. I got Tua plus Jalen Waddle. So I like this lineup overall. Just going to go through, kind of close this out, go through a few guys that I think at every position that you kind of want to try to target. And again, with these lineups, this is over if you use the optimizer, the domination station at DFS Army. There's a few guys that you will see, obviously, each and every week, top 5 in projections, rating, and ownership. So I like Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. I think Tua, obviously, who I just drafted, Anthony Richardson are in good spots. Kirk Cousins, Joe Burrow will be kind of a sneaky play for me this week going against Arizona. He's been terrible, but I think that is a stack that you could obviously target later. So at running back, Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry looks to be in a pretty good spot going against Indy. David Montgomery would probably be my top play. DeAndre Swift is in a really good spot as well going against LA, projected to be a high-scoring game. A couple other guys that I would look to target. Isaiah Pacheco going against Minnesota. They have a really high rush projection, and he's been getting really good volume and effective. And then Breece Hall, juicy matchup. Obviously, as we just saw, not everyone is on him right now, and I think he could be a later target for you. Top guys at wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase, A.J. Brown. To like a lesser degree, some of these guys that I think got good matchups. Could go a little bit under the radar. Michael Pittman, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, as we just talked about. Marquise Brown going against Cincinnati. And at tight end, a guy that I really like that, as we kind of saw, he went in the middle of the draft, not too early. Sam Laporta. There's going to be no Amon-Ra St. Brown this week. That's what it's looking like. He's doubtful. So Laporta runs a lot of those same routes. I think he could be Travis Kelce, T.J. Hawkinson, Mark Andrews, the normal crew. If you're looking for some punts later, Zach Ertz getting a lot of targets, Tyler Conklin going against the Broncos. So those would be some of my targets for these underdog drafts week 5. That's going to be a wrap. Wish everyone the best of luck this week. And I will be back. I'm going to review on Tuesday. I'm going to do these drafts review, both underdog and drafters, see what won it this past week. And then, of course, this is something I'm going to start doing each and every week as well. Just doing live drafts, looking at some players that we want to target for these daily drafts. So best of luck. See you next time.